Hello students, welcome to ePathshala. I am Nadarajan, working as Assistant Professor at Kumaraguru College of Technology, Coimbatore. Today we are going to discuss testing of knitted fabrics. In order to assess the quality, knitted fabrics are subjected to physical testing such as thickness, pilling, abrasion, resistance, bursting strength, dimensional stability. However, the types of tests carried out for knitted fabrics differ to some extent from the test carried out for woven fabrics, as structure and end use of knitted fabrics are different to those of woven fabrics. The tests are mainly done keeping in view to assess whether the quality of fabric made is equivalent to expected or predicted quality, to evaluate quality aspects of knitted fabrics, to assess whether the quality of fabric matches to the required quality of end product, to evaluate the comfort properties, feel, handle of the fabric, and to assess the performance of fabric during the end use. Fabric thickness tester. The thickness of fabric is measured with a touching system. By lowering a plate of defined weight and size onto the fabric surface and detecting the height in which the plate stops. The thickness of fabric is normally measured according to ISO 5084 and ASTM D1777 standards. The principal measurement of fabric thickness is based on the precise measurement of the distance between two plain parallel plates separated by cloth when a known pressure is applied and maintained on plates. Determination of thickness of fabric sample in laboratory is usually carried out with help of precision thickness gauge. The fabric whose thickness is to be determined is kept on a flat anvil and a circular pressure foot is pressed onto it from the top under the standard fixed load. The dial indicator directly gives thickness in mm. Specification of fabric thickness tester. Range of measurement 0 to 10 mm. Least count of dial gauge 0.01 mm. Diameter of anvil 50 mm. Diameter of pressure foot 10 and 25 mm. Load on pressure foot 10 gram per square centimeter. Throat depth 22 mm. Pilling. Pilling is a fabric surface characterized by little pills of entangled fiber clinging to the cloth surface that considerably spoils the original appearance of a fabric. Pills are formed by rubbing action on loose fibers that are present on the fabric surface and also during washing. Pill generation begins with migration of fibers to the external surface of yarn so that fluffiness emerges on the surface. Due to friction, the fluffiness gets entangled and forms somewhat spherical mass called pill. It remains suspended from the surface by long fibers called anchor fibers. Because of wear, some pills fall off, causing the additional effect of loss of material. Garment is considered to be serviceable when it is fit for its particular end use. Strong component in the blend aggravate its seriousness. Higher breaking strength and lower bending stiffness of fibers present in the yarn results more pill formation. Low twist factor, high hairiness and loose fabric structure results easy and large pills. Pilling in the fabric can also be generated by artificial means, which can stimulate actual wear over the long period. Pilling can be created by subjecting fabric samples to artificial abrasion in different apparatus, and machines like pilling box machine is shown in figure. It is possible to assess amount of pilling quantitatively either by counting the number of pills or by removing and weighing them. However, pills observed in worn garments vary in size and appearance as well as in number. The pilling resistance of sample The pilling resistance of sample is assessed according to ASTM D4970 standard. Counting the pills and weighing them as a measure of pilling is very time consuming, and there is also difficulty of deciding which surface disturbance constitute pills. The more useful way of evaluation is to assess the pilling subjectively by comparing it with either standard samples or with photographs of them. Most of the pilling assessment scales are divided into 5 grades and run from grade 5, which is no pilling, to grade 1, which is very severe pilling. For this test, 4 specimens each 125 mm into 125 mm are cut from the fabric. A seam allowance of 12 mm is marked on the back of each square. In 2 of the samples, the seam is marked parallel to the wale direction, and in other 2 parallel to course direction. The samples are then folded face to face and seam is sewn on marked line. Each specimen is turned inside out and 6 mm cut off each end of it, thus removing any sewing distortion. The fabric tubes made are then mounted on the rubber tubes so that the length of tube showing at each end is same. Each of the loose ends is tapped with polyvinyl chloride tape so that 6 mm of rubber tube is left exposed. All 4 specimens are then placed in pilling box. The samples are tumbled together in crock-linked box. The usual number of revolutions used in the test is 18,000, which takes 5 hours. Some specifications require the test to be run for different number of revolutions. Assessment. The specimens are removed from the tubes and viewed using oblique lighting in order to throw the pills into relief. The samples are then given a rating of between 1 and 5 with help of description given in table. Abrasion resistance. Abrasion resistance is the ability of fabric to resist surface wear caused by flat rubbing contact with another material. Abrasion may cause a loss of appearance by disturbing the surface of the fabric. Factors affecting abrasion test. Type of abrasion. This may be plain, flex or edge abrasion or a combination of more than one of these factors. Type of abradant. A number of different abradants have been used in abrasion test, including standard fabrics, steel plate and abrasive papers. The severity as well as the type of action is different in each case. An important concern is that action of abradant should be constant throughout the test. Pressure. Pressure between abradant and samples affect the severity and rate at which abrasion occurs. Speed. Increasing the speed of rubbing above that found in every use also brings the dangers of accelerated testing as described above. Tension. It is important that tension of mounted specimen is reproducible, as this determines the degree of mobility of sample under the applied abradant. This includes compressibility of any backing foam or inflated diaphragm. Direction of abrasion. In many fabrics, the abrasion resistance in the lengthwise direction differs from that of widthwise direction. Ideally, rubbing motion used by an abrasion machine should be such as to eliminate directional effects. Method of assessment. 2 approaches have been used to assess the effect of abrasion. Number 1, abrade the sample until predetermined endpoint such as hole and record the time or number of cycles to this endpoint. Number 2, abrade for set of time or number of cycles and assess some aspect of abraded fabric such as change in appearance, loss of mass, loss of strength, change in thickness or other relevant property. The first approach corresponds to most people's idea of endpoint of abrasion, but the length of test is indeterminate and requires the sample to be regularly examined for failure in the absence of suitable automatic mechanism. This need for examination is time consuming as the test may last for long time. The second approach promises a more precise measurement, but even when samples have rubbed into a hole, the change in properties such as mass loss can be slight. Martindale abrasion tester. This apparatus is designed to give a controlled amount of abrasion between fabric surfaces at comparatively low pressures in continuously changing direction. The results of this test should not be used indiscriminately, particularly not for comparing fabrics of widely different fiber composition or construction. In this test, circular specimens are abraded under known pressure on an apparatus which gives a motion that is resultant of two simple harmonic motions right angle to one another. The fabric under test is abraded against standard fabric. Resistance to abrasion is estimated by visual appearance or by loss in mass of the specimen. Method of sample mounting on sample holder. 4 specimens, each 38 mm in diameter, are cut using appropriate cutter. They are then mounted in a modified specimen holders which stretch the knitted material, thus effectively accelerating the test. A flattened rubber ball is pushed through the sample as the holder is tightened, thus stretching it. The test specimen holders are mounted on the machine with the fabric under test next to the abradant. A spindle is inserted through the top plate and correct weight, usually of size, to give pressure 12 kPa, but a lower pressure of 9 kPa may be used if specified. The specimen is examined at suitable intervals without removing it from its holder to see whether a hole appears or material develops unacceptable level of thinning. Bursting strength is method of measuring strength in which fabric is stretched in all directions at the same time and is therefore more suitable for materials such as knitted fabrics. During a test, a fabric fails across the direction which has lowest breaking extension. Tensile test is unidirectional and thus suitable for woven fabrics, where definite warp and weft direction strength is measured. In case of knitted fabric, where no definite alignment of yarns or fiber is there, multi-directional force is required. These types of fabric more likely to fail by bursting in service than it are to break by tensile fracture. Fabric used in parachute, filters, socks and nets are simultaneously stretched in all directions during service. In service, fabric is more likely to fail by bursting than by straight tensile fracture. Example for real life application of bursting strength is stress present at elbows and knee of clothing. Bursting test. ASTM standard describes a test in which the fabric to be tested is clamped over a rubber diaphragm by means of annular clamping ring, and increasing fluid pressure is applied to the underside of the diaphragm until the specimen bursts. The operating fluid may be liquid or gas. 2 sizes of specimens are in use. The area of specimen under stress being either 30 mm diameter or 113 mm diameter. The specimens with larger diameter fail at lower pressure. However, there is no direct comparison of results obtained from different sizes. The standard requires 10 specimens to be tested. In the test, the fabric sample is clamped over rubber diaphragm and the pressure in the fluid increased at a rate that specimen burst within 20 plus or minus 3 seconds. The extension of diaphragm is recorded and another test is carried out without specimen present. The pressure to do this is noted and deducted from earlier reading. The following measurements are reported. Mean bursting strength in kilonewton per meter square. Mean bursting distension in millimeter. Knitted fabric is so infamous for its tendency to change size and shape in wear and washing. The most challenging demerit of knitted structure is because of their lower dimensional stability, owing to instability in their loop dimensions. There are several factors which may be responsible for the instability of loop dimensions and consequently the poor dimensional stability of knitted fabrics. Fabric shrinkage may result due to fiber swelling under moist or wet conditions and relaxation of internal stresses which the fibers may undergo during different manufacturing phases. Yarns having higher spinning tension result in knitted fabric with inferior dimensional stability. Knitting tension and fabric wet processing parameters also affect the dimensional stability of knitted structures. Measurement of dimensional stability. It is recommended that samples are preconditioned at a temperature not greater than 50 degrees Celsius with relative humidity of between 10% and 25%. Then the fabric samples are conditioned in a standard atmosphere of 20 plus or minus 2 degrees Celsius and 65 plus or minus 2% relative humidity for 24 hours. The samples are marked with 3 sets of mark in each direction, a minimum of 50 cm apart and at least 10 cm from all edges as shown in figure. After measurement, the samples are subjected to washing according to AATCC TM 135 standard and the procedure for conditioning another 24 hours to bring them into the same state they were marked. They are then remeasured on flat smooth surface and percentage dimensional change is calculated. The mean dimensional change and direction is reported. The formula for shrinkage or expansion percentage is initial measurement minus final measurement divided by initial measurement into 100. The change in the fabric dimensions is expressed as percentage of initial length width to the change in fabric dimensions occur in specified conditions. When dimensional change results in increasing of specimen dimension, then it is termed as expansion. When dimensional change results in decrease of specimen dimension, then it is termed as shrinkage. Spirality. It is necessary that the veil on knitted fabric be perpendicular to the course. However, veils are not always perpendicular to the course and skewed to right or left, forming a spirality angle as seen in figure. Spirality is a major problem of knitted fabrics which is produced in circular knitting machine. Relaxation of torsional stresses causes dimensional distortion and instability in the knitted loop construction. The effect of machine gauge, yarn and fabric properties on the spirality of single jersey knitted fabric have been analyzed by some researchers. Spirality is determined by placing a protector on a smooth fabric surface with its base line along the course and reading the angle between veil line and a line 90 degree perpendicular to the course line as shown in figure. Air permeability. Air permeability is defined as volume of air in liters which is passed through 100 cm square of fabric in 1 minute at a pressure difference of 10 mm head of water. Air permeability is often used in evaluating and comparing the breathability of various fabrics such as raincoats, tent and uniform shirting. Air permeability is important factor in the comfort of fabric as it plays a role in transporting moisture vapor from the skin to outside atmosphere. The air permeability of fabric depends on the shape and value of pores and interthread channels, which are dependent on the structural parameter of fabric. Since knitted fabrics have loop structure, they have more pores than woven fabrics. Therefore, in general, the air permeability of knitted fabrics is higher than that of woven fabrics of same weight. A circular fabric is clamped into the tester, and through the use of vacuum to obtain accurate result in the test, edge leak around the specimen has to be prevented by using guard ring or similar device. The pressure drop across the guard ring is measured by separate pressure gauge. The air permeability is made different on the side of fabric. The airflow will occur from the side with higher air pressure through the fabric to the side with lower air pressure. From this rate of airflow, the air permeability of fabric is determined. To obtain accurate results in the test, the edge leak around the specimen has to be prevented by using guard ring or similar device. The pressure drop across the guard ring is measured by separate pressure gauge. Now let us conclude. Knitted structures offer several advantages over woven fabrics, including better stretch and recovery, resilience, porosity, air permeability, softness and warmth. Due to better extensibility in structure, knitted fabrics provide better fit and comfort to the wearer. Consumer interest in apparel fabric made from knitted fabrics has increased at rapid pace during the last few decades. In apparel design and garment manufacturing, fabric characteristics are usually dictated by the specified end use. Understanding the relationship between fabric end use and the fabric properties becomes fundamental for classification, selection, search and purchase control of the apparel fabric. Appearance properties are very important in all classes of fabrics. Appearance retention is directly related to the longevity and severability of the fabrics. A fabric may lose its aesthetic appeal due to wear, which is combined effect of several factors like abrasion, repeated laundering and the application of force in dry and wet states.